there was a plot to kidnap Governor Whitmer of the state of Michigan. If you remember, her this is where we saw these men charge the government offices with guns, who were not arrested, who were protesting and showed up, who have been showing up and showing out. They are called militia groups, and they pushed back on that. They said they're not militia groups; they're just protesting like Black Lives Matter, because that's Black Lives Matter seems to be the metric for everybody now, because nobody wants to uphold the ideology and keeps conflating the ideology with the actual organization. But these men who stormed, who were plotting and were, the FBI caught them. They were plotting to kidnap this woman and kill her. From one of the articles that I read, allegedly murder her. I want you to take a look at these guys. These are 10 of the 13 thugs that were going to kidnap. Now let me tell you, 13 men were going to kidnap this one woman. They were going to kidnap this one woman, and they had been, they feel she's an anarchist and she's part of the plot to take America down. Now, these people are saying that she is part of the plan to take America down. These are domestic terrorists. They are criminals, they are thugs, and they should be called that. And it doesn't matter. Listen, your political views are granted to you in this country by the Constitution, by the rights, the rules, and the laws of the land. But when you take it upon yourself to harm one of these people because their political views directly oppose yours, now we got problems. Because can you imagine being the White House being stormed by all of the descendants of the slaves? The White House that was built by the slaves, by the way. Can you imagine all marginalized people storming all of these buildings and these politicians that continuously uphold laws and rules that keep us down? Can you imagine? There would be a war in this country. But 13 white men thought it was okay to kidnap one white woman and bring her to shame. You know why? Because they've been emboldened. And let me tell you why they were emboldened. Because if you saw those men and women charge that government building fully armed and bully the security guards and the government and the politicians and the state officials that worked in that building without any consequences, of course, they would think that the natural progression is, since we can do whatever we want, because historically we've been able to do whatever we want. We've been able to kidnap and kill Black people without going to jail. We've been able to beat up on gay people and not getting in trouble for it. We've been able to rape women and we get away with it. Why wouldn't we think that we could kidnap one lady? 13 of us kidnapped one lady. And what were you going to do? How manly is this? This is the toxic masculinity that is interlaced with the racism in this country and the white supremacy. And white people that are allies know that I mean this from the best place in me. This has been a problem in this country for centuries, and we've been dealing with it as people of color, as gay people, as women, as poor people, that these people who look like this continue to do really horrible things in this country without any consequences. And that is why they continue to do it. And the children of the people who look like this and their children. And now we have generations of this, and we have a severe imbalance, not just in this country, but around the world. And we cannot get back to balance until we address this issue. They were going to kidnap a white woman. Where is the outrage for the people who are always saying that, where are the descendants of the people that accused Emmett Till? Where are the people who are appalled about horrible things happening to white women in this country? Where are you? Why aren't you showing up for this lady? Because the toxic masculinity the misogyny in this country is far greater than anything else. And it is interlaced with the racism and the sexism and the homophobia. And those of us who are victims of that and continue to be victims of that have to stand by and watch. Or what did he say? Stand by and stand down and stand by. We have to sit here and watch people like this continuously plot. Now, that's one woman. That's the governor in Michigan. How many more plots are out there of people thinking about doing these things to people because they oppose their political views? They feel oppressed. There are people who feel oppressed because they got to wear masks. People who feel oppressed because they have to share space with marginalized people in this country. This is what it's come to. It is the epitome of when you are accustomed to privilege, equality feels like oppression. I want to invite you to share your thoughts. You share them all the time, whether we agree or disagree. That is the beauty about having conversations, and that is how you grow, and that is how you go. I am not here to be a political tool for any of these politicians or political parties. I am here for the people, and my desire and my goal is that we have a better world for us who show up to work every day, and not just those of us who are entertainers. You know, when I speak, I am speaking to my grandmother, who's a door-to-door saleswoman, to speak to my uncle who worked at a McDonald's as a manager, speak to, my mother who worked at a parking structure and was the ticket attendant, speak to my brothers who work for a car dealership, speak to all of the people in my habitat and my family who are not in the top 1%, including me. And that is just one family. All of the people of this country who show up every day and work and pay their taxes the way that they're supposed to pay their taxes, because there are great consequences when you don't, when you're an average citizen in this country. That is who you should be voting for. You don't just vote for yourself, you vote for everyone in your community, and for all of those people who don't have a voice, you show up for them. Fuck these politicians. Use them as tools and vehicles for you to get what you want in your community. From the local level to the national level, that is what they're supposed to be doing. They're not your friends. They're not your cousins. They shouldn't be your role models. They shouldn't be your icons. They should fucking be the public servants that we employ them to be by way of our taxes, that those of us who continue to pay our taxes, and I know you're out there, are paying for. And that is what this is about. So when you read that booklet, take your bullshit Red Sox and Yankees mentality out of it and look at those propositions and look at those laws and look at the politicians and who they support and what they've employed in your community, because at the end of the day, that's what it should be about. And you should be rooting for Donald Trump on The Apprentice on the other side. What you should be doing in this election is holding him accountable, not for an economy that has benefited corporations and rich people who look like him, but look at your community, look what's happening around. Check out the superintendent at the schools of your kids and see what they are doing to make your life better as a citizen of this country who is doing everything that you're supposed to be doing, and they owe you for that. Aida Rodriguez, Truth Serum. And listen, if you disagree with me, great. That is awesome. That is what this country is about. And that is why we should respect other people's opinions, even though they may not be similar to us. Let's get back to being thinkers and stop being fucking robots, because we got to fight these robots, these machines, and in addition to these goddamn politicians who have gone off the rails and are now just looking for checks and don't give a shit about any of us. So if that's what you about, good luck with that. Those of us are going to keep fighting for a better world. And when I say a better world and a better country, you goddamn right. I mean, people of color, Black people, and marginalized people in this country. And I'll never be afraid to stand up for that. And if you have a problem with that, then you have a problem with me.